Buenos dias. Gosh, I'm going to talk to y'all about... I want to tell you about this fun story. The day I met Brandon Walsh from Beverly Hills 90210. Yeah, it's true. Not all my stories are going to be deep or intense. Some of them are fun. But I do think that every story I will tell you there's a point to it. Trust me. So I would say that Jason Priestley, Brandon from 90210, was probably the first celebrity crush I ever had. It was the first person that I think I saw a poster of him somewhere and I was like, who is this guy? And I started watching the show. I was probably too young to watch it. Brandon Walsh was like everything to me. 2013, he came out with his book, his memoirs, and I was like, I'm gonna buy the book. Clearly I'm gonna buy the book. But then I noticed that he was having a signing in LA at the Grove. So I went. One of my really good friends went with me and she met up with me and we were in line for, I would say, at least 2 to 3 hours. Now the silver lining in this whole experience is, I think the old me would have been like, oh, like that's too geeky of me. But I was like, no, I'm gonna own this. This is something I like. I'm gonna go for it. And being true to myself and true in the line, I was literally in the line, being just, I don't know, I was talking with my friend about Jason or whatever, and the people next to us, they were a couple from Arizona. Shout out, Dan and Kate. And we started bonding about 90210, and we were like both just as much fanatics. I always find that awesome to find other people who are just as crazy about certain things as you are. I think it's wonderful. I think it's like what bonds and connects people. And we ended up being pals. Like I still text her till the day, about anything 90210 related. But that goes to show, it's like, don't be afraid of being who you are. Like, you'll never know who other people might be very similar to you, and you'll connect, and you'll be homies, and the whole thing. So I'm getting in line, and I'm like, I told my friend, I was like, dude, I'm seeing him interacting with the fans, and it's just pretty, like, neutral. And I was like, no, I need to make this guy, like, remember me. I want to be that fan that when they're on some interview, that they're like, what's the craziest thing a fan has told you or done to you? I'm like, I wanted to be that person. So I'm in line, I'm like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say. I'm like, well, there is this one story. That's right, I'm gonna share it with you right here, right now. Let's just say that this story that I told him, he was nonstop laughing, like cracking up. And because I made him laugh and he was having a good time, I snuck in a couple hugs. I did hug him like twice, and it's all on video. Maybe I'll share it with you at the end of this video, if you stick around. So the story I told him was, so I was obsessed with 90210. Obviously, I'm like going to this guy's book signing. I'm 15 though, at this time, that story that I'm telling you about right now. I'm 15, we didn't have cable anymore, so I couldn't see any reruns, and I needed my 90210 fix. All right, so this is back in the day of eBay, right? eBay was huge. I mean, eBay's still around, but this was like, eBay was all the buzz. It was very new. And so I researched on some message boards, if there's anybody who's selling tapes. And so on eBay, there was this guy that was selling all 10 seasons on VHS tapes for like $120, which is pretty good. DVD sets for one season used to go for like $50-$60 back in the day. It's true. Look it up. Naturally, I went into it and I did it. I don't know if I told my parents. Somehow I was able to write a check. So I don't know who gave me the check for that, but I mailed it off. And I remember this very specifically. We went to Mexico for that winter break, and as soon as we got back, I was like, there's a package at the post office for me for this. And I mean, I was honest with my parents. I told them about it. So we get this box, and I opened it up, and it's all the VHS tapes. And this person also managed to like make a binder. It was like a binder with all the episode descriptions and everything. It was pretty cool. I started going through the tapes like that night. I'm like, I'm hitting the ground running. I'm gonna do this. And so I'm watching. And around like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm still watching. I don't know why my parents let me, but they let me. And one of the episodes just kind of cuts off. And I'm just like, what's going on? Like, I wasn't really partial to that episode in particular, but my doggy. And then I started to see, what's up, Charlie? That's my puppy right there. I proceed to see, unfortunately, some pornography. And it is not a very tasteful pornography. It looks like somebody did it in their house, and let's just say there was more than 2 people, and so forth. Now bear in mind, I'm 15 years old, never seen anything like this. But I wasn't really worried about that. I really wanted to know where the episode went and if all the episodes were not going to be possible. So what I did, I fast forward, and it cut to the next tape. So I was like, I'm going to grab the next tape, and I grabbed it, and luckily there was no other tape that was like that. I remember I felt so guilty about the fact that I saw that I told my parents, and my mom was so mad. Not mad at me, but at the person that sold it to me. And I remember she grabbed the tape and she just ripped the film out of the VHS tape. I told this story to Jason Priestley, and he had a hoot about it. And, well, without further ado.
And by the sixth season, somebody had sent me porn. What? How my? Can you believe that?
You were wanting that?
Next to me.
You were wanting that to
very session.
like porn
And
stuff?
then by season 6, it was like and porn and amateur porn. It wasn't even good porn.
No, really?
Yes.
It was like you porn.
Yes.
No, wow, that's bad.
I should have let you watch the show.
I know. I just want
I
to
mean, you
know.
can also sign up.
I want to see that.
I'm like, no. I'm like, I swear, I just fast-forwarded. I was like, when am I going to get back to it?
When's this gonna be over?
Yeah.
Oh my
You can sign
god.
her awesome
Oh,
place.
You want me to sign this too?
Wherever
Okay.
you want. Wherever you think is good.
Oh my god. Just want me to sign?
Yep, just whatever you want. Perfect.